I want to give credit to one of the 100,000 righteous Jewish women. I'm sure there are more, but that's who I'm speaking to right now, who called me this morning with an incredibly difficult assignment that she's having. And she shared with me. Yeah, she's having a very, very difficult time with her spouses, with not spouse, with her parents, with her siblings. They're treating her in the most undesirable, the most unfriendly way. And she wanted to know, is she allowed to cut off communication with them when they send her a text message, to ignore it, not to go to their simchas, because it's really, really hard for her. And I told her as follows. In the Svarim it says that in every generation, right, every Jew has a Nisoyim, has a test comparable to that of Avram Avinu, of Akedah Yitzchak. Yeah, Chazal tell us that the most difficult challenge that any Jew has ever had on planet Earth was Akedah Yitzchak. As the Kloisenberger Rebbe says, that when the Torah writes, the Divrei Yatziv, the Kloisenberger Rebbe writes, that when the Torah writes that Avram loved Yitzchak, that made the love infinite. Avram Avinu had infinite love for Yitzchak, and yet when Hashem asked him to sacrifice his son on the altar, he didn't hesitate for a second. He ran. He woke up in the morning early, and he, with the greatest alacrity, went to sacrifice his son. Even when he was told not to do it, he had to hold himself back because he was so passionate to fill Hashem's desires. Every Jew is given a Nisoyan according to the neshama of that caliber. And this woman who called me today, this is the Nisoyan that she's facing. I told her on a scale from 1 to 10, it's an 11. It's really hard when your siblings and when your parents are treating you that way. But the Torah obligates us, lo tisnes achicha b'levavcha, not to hate your siblings in your heart, and certainly not your parents, right? You're obligated to the best of your ability, even though it's difficult, not to cut off from them as much as you're capable of, to keep a relationship with them and not to feel even the slightest iota of any bad feelings in your heart, not to feel any grudge, not to feel any jealousy, not to feel any hatred towards them. This is what the Torah obligates us. You'll say that this is not humanly possible. It's human nature to feel upset. And the answer to that is Jewish people are not supposed to be humans. They're supposed to be above human. They're supposed to be malachim. This is why on Yom Kippur we wear white clothing and we stand and we do many things like the malachim do. But the most important thing, Chazal say, is to ask each other for mechila. So we should all be like malachim who don't have any bad feelings one towards the other. This is what the Torah expects of us. And this is what I told this righteous woman who called me this morning. I told her that if it was me, I would not be able to stand in this very, very difficult challenge. It's extremely difficult. And this is why I'm turning to the women and I'm not speaking to the men. Right? When I give this type of fear to the men, he says, well, who says it's true and who says that's what it means? And maybe the Torah means something different, etc., etc., etc. Right? This is all incorrect. Right? I've heard from my Rebbeim, the Gedolei Ador. This is the reason why Moshiach is not here yet, because we have sina in our hearts. We have hatred of other people, and hatred doesn't mean that you want to kick them in the face. Hatred means that even the smallest feeling of unpleasantness, yeah, Reb Revda Zatzal used to say, even if you don't say good morning to the person sitting next to you to Shu and Shul, this is also called sinas chinam. We have to galvanize ourselves, right? And that's why I asked for 100,000 Jewish women to galvanize themselves and work on this area, to clean their hearts out from sinas chinam and let the Shekhinah enter their hearts. When the Shekhinah enters their hearts, as I'll tell us, the Shechanti besocham, not besocho, not in this place, which hopefully will be the Beis HaMikdash very quickly. Besocham means right over here. You know how in the morning when person after breakfast they brush their teeth It's very important. You want to make sure you have cavities. What about brushing your heart? How do you brush your heart? How do you clean out your heart from all the plaque, or what do they call it, the stuff that gets, the what clogs your arteries? Yeah, all the fat that clogs up your arteries. How do you clean it out? Okay, so exercise and good diet, and don't get too, you know, control your feelings, etc. But the most important thing, says the Vilna Gaon in Mishlei 11:19. Please look it up, because he says there, don't get upset with other people. It doesn't matter what they did. It has nothing to do with them. They are only emissaries to send us challenges in life. There's absolutely no reason ever to get upset with another Jew. I've heard this and seen it many, many times from my Rebbe, Rav Gershon Edelstein, who Rav Steinman said is the leader of Ashkenazi Jewry today. Many, many times he said, what is holding back the Geula is getting upset with other Jews. Not saying Kol Man David Rachman Avid, but getting upset with people. If we would do that, then Mashiach would be here very, very quickly. Instead of getting upset, instead of saying nasty things or feeling nasty things, say Kol Ma David Rachmana Latav Avid, and finished, and just go on with your life. Don't get upset with other Jews. This will have a tremendous effect of cleaning your heart. Your heart will be clean. Once your heart is cleaned, the Shekhinah, which is right here above our heads, will descend into your heart. And once the Shekhinah is in the hearts of 100,000, I don't know how many it is. It might be 200,000. It might be 1,000,000. We don't know, right? As many Jewish women as possible should galvanize themselves and do this, and hopefully it'll be the entire Jewish people. Once it's the entire Jewish people, Mashiach will definitely come, because we will fix the transgression which is stopping the Beis Hamikdash from coming. So I'm speaking from my heart now to this righteous woman who called me, and to all the righteous women out there. You're all being tested now. These are critical days as we approach the month of Nisan in 2 months. Nisan Asin Ligoil. We are being challenged, and we are being tested. Please, I'm talking on behalf of the Bari Olam. I'm talking on behalf of Chazal. They're turning to you, they're counting on you. You could do it. The harder it is, as I told this woman, if the test is very hard, we have a Kabbalah from Chazal. A person's spiritual madrega level can be measured depending on the test that they're given. The more difficult the test is, the more they are a clear participant, the more high their spiritual level is. As the Medrash says, when someone wants to buy a pot, they go around and they tap on the side of the pot to see how strong it is. Hashem is tapping on us now. He wants to see how strong the Jewish women are, right? Under the most challenging and difficult circumstances, can they maintain their calm and not get upset with other people? This is true Jewish greatness. These are the heroes of our generation. The more women they can galvanize themselves and do this, the quicker the goal will come. So please, I'm asking you, I'm urging you, please do this, and please get as many women as possible. Send this year to as many women as possible, right? And please urge everyone. We have to change the status quo. We have to do it, and we can do it, and it will happen, and the goal will be here. And this wall will no longer be a wall stopping us from going behind that wall. It will be the wall to the Beit HaMikdash. Amen, Cain, T.A. Ratzon. Should be very, very soon. Bezrat Hashem. Batzlacha Gedela.